Hey, so we're going to go ahead and do a part 2 on greasing the machine, because I figured I might as well just demonstrate greasing the loader arms. So if you watch the other video, you can see why I've got the machine tilted like this to grease the front end, and how you can access everything from a single spot. You don't have to move your grease gun. But let's go ahead and demonstrate how to safely grease these loader arms. So I'm going to remove this pin. If I can get my fingers back in here to get it off while I'm holding the camera. Let's see. Well, oh, I had it loose already, didn't realize it. So just pull this pin. You can put it back in here to store it if you want to, or just put it in your pocket, which is normally what I do, because for some reason I tear things up a lot. But so I'm going to jump up into my machine. Start it up. So we're just going to go ahead and lift the loader arms up. And while I'm lifting them up, you can just, maybe you can see out there, but you just wait for the red safety latch to fall. It just engaged. So now I'm going to go ahead and shut my machine off. Go back over here and we'll get the grease gun. So this thing will hang down, and then when you put the loader arms back up, it'll catch right there and fold right under and release that mechanism for you. So these are the grease fittings that I was saying you don't want to forget. You got one on the bottom, one on the top. Always make sure that you clean your grease fittings off before you grease them. The other thing about this Milwaukee grease gun is I can set it here on the track, and I can reach up here using the lock and lube, and don't have to put a lot of in there. So I've got it set on high right now because I was greasing the tracks a minute ago. But really, just a few squirts every 6 to 8 hours of use, because you spend a lot of money on this machine, and why not take care of it? So I greased these before I started this video, but again, the Milwaukee grease gun setting there, so I can grease these two, I can grease this, I can grease this, we can grease these two here, all without moving the grease gun, as well as these down here. So the only thing you're going to have to move your gun for is going to be these two. And oh yeah, also you can get this one with the grease gun sitting on the back of the tracks. So you can get every one of those, and essentially with, you know, just a few grease positions with this grease gun and the lock and lube, and you can buy this on Amazon, you can grease your entire machine, and you're not having to carry your grease gun around. And oh, and by the way, don't set it on your track and move the machine, because if you do, it'll crush your grease gun. Ask me how I know that. But luckily it only crushed the battery, but that's still the most expensive part. So now I'm going to let the machine down and we'll see if you can see how this works, just in case you didn't have a dealership as good as mine to explain to you how to do all this. I can't say enough good things about the CAT dealership, Stowers in Knoxville, and my rep Brian Chamberlain. They've been phenomenal. So I went ahead and took the brake off, so I got the hydraulics activated, and let's see if we can look out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my loader arms, and I can see that the little pin dropped. And so now that I've got the loader arms raised, let's see if I open this window, if that helps. So I've got the loader arms raised, the pins dropped. Now I'm going to put the loader arms down, and you can see that flip out like so, and everything's out of the way. And then my loader arms are going back down. So we'll take them down, and now you see that I've got the bucket or the grapple, whatever you've got on here, tilted back. And I greased it earlier with it tilted forward, but we'll raise it up, move it back and forth a little bit to work in the grease that I put in earlier. So now we've got it in a normal position. There's no pressure on it. And so after we do that, now I can jump out, grab my grease gun one more time, set it in the same position, lock this on, give a couple more squirts. You can see the grease came out on top that time. Before, the grease came out on the bottom because it had pressure on it. Couple squirts, came out on top again. Last time it came out on the bottom. We're down here now. So we've got the lock and lube on. A few squirts there. And we're going to the other side now. My grease gun's not as low, so I had to move it. So now we're still here. A few squirts there. And these up here are not going to have really quite as much pressure on them, but we're still going to give them a few squirts. So now the machine is fully greased, and you've accomplished this in a safe way without putting you or your operators in danger. And then the last thing we've got to do is remember to pin this back up. And how am I going to do this holding the camera? Let's see if we can set the camera up here. So yeah, raise this up, slide the pin through, flip it back in place so it's locked into place, and you're ready to go back to work. Enjoy your machine, guys, and take good care of them.